Every morning, the same frustrating routine. You wake up choking on thick mucus, coughing through breakfast, clearing your throat during conversations, and feeling embarrassed in public spaces. If you're over 60 and dealing with this daily struggle, you're not alone. Millions of seniors wake up to this exact nightmare, and here's what most people don't know. This isn't just aging. Your body is sending you urgent signals that something needs attention. The mucus, the constant cough, the nighttime struggles. They're all pieces of a puzzle that we're about to solve together. And before we go any further, I want you to ask yourself, how long have you been living with this? 1 year? 5 years? Maybe you've started to believe it's just permanent. Well, today might be the day everything changes. The truth that nobody in the trillion-dollar pharmaceutical industry wants you to know is that daily mucus production in seniors is almost always preventable. Companies make fortunes selling cough syrups, throat lozenges, and prescription medications that mask your symptoms while completely ignoring the root causes. They profit when you keep buying, month after month, year after year. But what if I told you that the solutions are often simpler, more natural, and hiding in plain sight? What if the very thing causing your morning misery could be identified and addressed without emptying your wallet or filling your body with unnecessary chemicals? In this video, we're going to walk through the 8 most common reasons seniors experience chronic mucus production. And more importantly, we'll explore the natural, science-backed solutions that can finally bring you relief. From hidden allergies to medication side effects your doctor might not have mentioned. From dietary triggers to lifestyle factors that change everything, we're covering it all. And I promise you this, every single fact you're about to hear is backed by peer-reviewed research. No guesswork, no myths, just the truth your body has been waiting for. Before we dive deep into these life-changing solutions, if you're new here, welcome to our community. This channel exists to give seniors the health answers they truly deserve without the corporate filter. Hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss content that could transform your well-being. And do me a favor, drop a comment below telling me where you're watching from and how long you've been dealing with chronic mucus. I read every single comment because your stories matter, and they help guide what we create next. Your voice shapes this community. Now, let's start uncovering the truth, beginning with one of the most overlooked culprits that's probably affecting you right now. Here's something that shocks most people. Allergies don't disappear as you age. In fact, research shows they can develop at any stage of life, including well into your senior years. While most people develop allergies during childhood, approximately 10% of adults have allergies that began in adulthood, with shellfish, peanuts, tree nuts, and environmental allergens being common late-onset triggers. What makes this particularly relevant for respiratory symptoms is that older adults often experience allergies differently than younger people. Instead of sneezing fits or itchy eyes, these allergies frequently manifest as persistent post-nasal drip, that annoying sensation of mucus sliding down the back of your throat, triggering endless coughing and throat clearing. Post-nasal drip happens when excess mucus from your nasal passages and sinuses drains backward instead of out through your nose. For older adults, the problem intensifies because the tissues lining your nose and throat become thinner and less efficient with age. Studies on allergic diseases in the elderly have found that between 5 and 15% of adults over 60 have allergic rhinitis, and many experience respiratory symptoms rather than typical allergy signs. The mucus that once moved smoothly now sticks, accumulates, and creates that constant tickle that drives you crazy at night and embarrasses you during the day. What triggers these reactions? The usual suspects include dust mites, living in your bedding, pet dander from that beloved cat or dog, mold spores hiding in damp corners of your home, and seasonal pollens. Your immune system, after decades of tolerance, can suddenly treat these harmless particles as dangerous invaders, ramping up mucus production as a defense mechanism. The natural solutions for allergy-driven mucus are surprisingly effective when applied consistently. Start with a high-quality HEPA air filter in your bedroom. This single change removes airborne allergens while you sleep. Saline nasal rinses performed twice daily. Flush out irritants before they trigger mucus production. Regular nasal irrigation has been shown to significantly reduce post-nasal drip symptoms. Consider reducing or eliminating dairy products from your evening meals. While dairy doesn't cause mucus, it can thicken existing secretions, making them harder to clear. Keeping your bedroom humidity between 30 and 50% prevents nasal tissues from drying out while discouraging dust mite growth. Herbal approaches like butterbur extract, stinging nettle tea, and quercetin supplements have shown promise in reducing allergic responses naturally without causing drowsiness. Let's talk about something that might surprise you. Heartburn and mucus are more connected than you ever imagined. Gastroesophageal reflux disease, commonly called GERD or acid reflux, is one of the sneakiest causes of chronic mucus in older adults. And here's the alarming part. Many seniors suffer from what doctors call silent reflux, where stomach acid creeps up into the throat and airways without causing that classic burning sensation in your chest. When acid touches the delicate tissues of your throat and larynx, your body immediately goes into protection mode, coating everything with thick, defensive mucus. This is why so many people over 60 wake up hacking, coughing, and spitting up phlegm even though they went to bed feeling perfectly fine. The acid did its damage while you slept, and the mucus is your body's desperate attempt to protect itself. Research has established that GERD contributes to chronic cough in a significant percentage of cases, with some studies showing that 20 to 40% of chronic cough cases have a reflux component. The problem worsens at night because lying flat allows stomach contents to flow backward more easily. Add in the fact that the muscle separating your esophagus from your stomach weakens with age, and you have a perfect storm for nighttime acid exposure and morning mucus production. Now, you might be wondering if these solutions actually work in real life, or if they're just theories. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share about common medications might completely change how you think about that daily cough. The natural approach to managing reflux-related mucus starts with timing and positioning. Eat your largest meal at lunch rather than dinner, and finish your last meal at least 3 hours before lying down. This simple change gives your stomach time to empty, reducing the amount of acid available to reflux during sleep. Elevate the head of your bed by 6 to 8 inches using bed risers or a wedge pillow. Gravity becomes your ally in keeping acid where it belongs. Certain foods trigger more acid production than others. Eliminate coffee, chocolate, peppermint, alcohol, and tomato-based foods from evening meals. Replace them with reflux-friendly options like oatmeal, bananas, melons, leafy greens, and lean proteins. Herbal teas like chamomile, marshmallow root, and slippery elm create a protective coating in the esophagus while reducing inflammation. Deglycyrrhizinated licorice, known as DGL, shows effectiveness for reflux symptoms and can be chewed before meals. Aloe vera juice, consumed in small amounts before meals, soothes the esophageal lining naturally. Here's a truth that might make you angry. The very medications prescribed to keep you healthy might be the reason you're coughing up mucus every single day. As prescriptions multiply with age, blood pressure pills, cholesterol medications, heart drugs, so do the side effects that nobody fully explains. One of the most common but least discussed side effects is chronic cough with excessive mucus production. ACE inhibitors, a widely prescribed class of blood pressure medications with names ending in pril like lisinopril, enalapril, and ramipril, are notorious mucus triggers. Multiple research studies indicate that between 5 and 20% of patients taking ACE inhibitors develop a persistent cough, with some studies in outpatient settings reporting rates as high as 19%. The mechanism involves a substance called bradykinin, which accumulates in the airways, causing inflammation and stimulating mucus glands. Large-scale studies examining over 27,000 patients found that the incidence of ACE inhibitor-induced cough requiring discontinuation was approximately 4%, with female gender being one of the strongest predictors. Women have nearly twice the risk compared to men. Here's what makes this particularly frustrating. The symptoms often start weeks or even months after beginning the medication, so the connection gets missed. Doctors treat the cough as a separate condition, prescribing additional medications to suppress symptoms while the original drug continues causing the problem. Seniors end up trapped in a pharmaceutical cycle, taking more pills to counteract the effects of other pills. The natural solution here requires honest conversation with your healthcare provider. If your chronic cough and mucus began shortly after starting a new medication, that's a connection worth exploring. Often, switching to an alternative drug class, like switching from an AC inhibitor to an ARB, eliminates the cough completely without compromising blood pressure control. Never stop medications on your own, but always advocate for yourself by asking if your symptoms could be drug-related. While addressing medication issues, supporting your body with natural expectorants can help manage symptoms. N-acetylcysteine, or NAC, is an amino acid that thins mucus naturally. Mullein leaf tea has been used for centuries as a gentle expectorant that soothes irritated airways. Thyme, consumed as tea or in syrup form, contains compounds that relax airways while helping expel mucus naturally. Even decades after quitting smoking, your lungs remember. Cigarette smoke destroys cilia, microscopic hair-like structures that sweep mucus out. Without functioning cilia, lungs lose their primary cleaning mechanism. The body compensates with more mucus, but without cilia to move it, mucus accumulates, triggering endless coughing. Research shows former smokers have permanently reduced ciliary function even decades later, explaining the persistent morning cough. While damage is permanent, inflammation and mucus production can be reduced. Hydration is critical. Water thins mucus for easier expulsion. Aim for 8 to 10 glasses daily. Breathing exercises like pursed lip breathing strengthen respiratory muscles and improve airflow. Antioxidant-rich foods combat oxidative stress. Green tea provides catechins that reduce lung inflammation. Turmeric's curcumin has anti-inflammatory properties for lung tissue. Pine bark and grapeseed extracts target lung inflammation specifically. Cordyceps mushroom improves lung function. Ginger acts as both anti-inflammatory and natural expectorant. Chronic bronchitis and COPD represent permanent lung changes where airways remain inflamed, narrowed, and constantly producing excess mucus. The defining characteristic: cough-producing mucus most days for at least 3 consecutive months, returning year after year. These conditions develop gradually from years of lung irritant exposure, primarily smoking, but also air pollution, chemical fumes, or dust. By diagnosis, significant damage has occurred. Airways are permanently thickened and scarred. Cilia destroyed. Mucus glands in overdrive. Without functional cilia, the body floods airways with even more mucus as its only defense. If you're finding value here, hit that like button to help others discover this video and share it with anyone struggling with chronic mucus. We're building a community that refuses to accept decline as inevitable. While these conditions can't be fully reversed, natural strategies slow progression and improve life quality. Avoid all lung irritants: cigarette smoke, wood smoke, chemical fumes, pollution. Use air purifiers at home. Pulmonary rehabilitation teaches breathing techniques and mucus clearance methods. Pursed lip breathing keeps airways open longer. Controlled coughing clears mucus effectively. Anti-inflammatory nutrition becomes medicine. Omega-3 fatty acids reduce airway inflammation. Vitamin D and magnesium are essential. Eucalyptus oil inhalation contains cineol that reduces mucus and improves airflow. Ivy leaf extract acts as expectorant and bronchodilator. Elecampane root expels thick mucus. One of the most powerful solutions for chronic mucus is simple: water. Most seniors are chronically dehydrated, directly causing thick, sticky mucus that won't clear. As we age, thirst signals weaken, kidney function declines, and many take diuretics, all creating chronic dehydration. Mucus is 95% water when healthy. When hydration drops, mucus becomes thick and glue-like, clinging to airways and triggering violent coughing. The solution? Consistent water intake. Use urine color as your guide. Pale yellow indicates good hydration. Dark yellow signals dehydration. Spread water throughout the day, keeping it beside your bed and sipping consistently. Herbal teas provide fluid plus benefits. Warm liquids effectively thin mucus. Ginger tea adds anti-inflammatory properties. Licorice root tea soothes throats. Marshmallow root tea creates protective coating. High water content foods like cucumbers, watermelon, oranges, and celery boost hydration. Broths deliver hydration and minerals. For stubborn mucus, steam inhalation with eucalyptus or peppermint delivers moisture directly to airways, loosening mucus immediately. Your immune system isn't what it used to be. Scientists call this immunosenescence, the gradual decline affecting every senior with chronic mucus. After 60, your body produces fewer T cells, and remaining ones respond slowly. Minor irritants, bacteria, or viruses linger in airways. Unable to mount swift response, your body keeps producing mucus continuously. Chronic low-grade inflammation keeps mucus glands constantly activated. This combination creates perfect conditions for persistent mucus. Strengthening immunity requires providing raw materials for defense. Vitamin C through citrus, peppers, and broccoli supports optimal function. Zinc from oysters, beef, pumpkin seeds, and lentils is critical. Deficiency is common in seniors. Vitamin D is strongly associated with respiratory health. Selenium from Brazil nuts, just 2 daily, plays a vital role. Elderberry compounds prevent viruses from entering cells. Medicinal mushrooms like reishi, turkey tail, and shiitake activate multiple immune pathways. Probiotics matter because the gut contains 70% of your immune system, influencing respiratory responses. The most serious and overlooked cause: undiagnosed sleep apnea. Far more common than most realize, it silently destroys respiratory health while flooding your body with mucus. Sleep apnea occurs when your airway collapses repeatedly during sleep, cutting off breathing for seconds or minutes. Each pause creates a chain reaction. Oxygen drops, body panics, stress hormones flood, inflammation surges, directly triggering mucus production. The shocking truth: research examining over 1,000 Medicare beneficiaries found 56% of people over 65 have high sleep apnea risk, yet only 8% were tested. Among those tested, 94% were diagnosed. Swiss studies found 60% of men and 35% of women over 60 exhibit at least moderate sleep apnea. The connection is direct. Every airway collapse causes intermittent hypoxia, repeated oxygen drops triggering inflammatory cascades throughout your respiratory system. Mucus glands sense distress and go into overdrive. Unlike men with loud snoring, women experience quieter sleep apnea, presenting with chronic morning cough, excessive mucus, fatigue, and headaches, symptoms dismissed as aging. Professional diagnosis requires sleep study, but natural strategies help. Sleep on your side, not your back. Elevate bedhead. Lose modest weight if needed. Strengthen throat muscles through exercises. Avoid alcohol and sedatives before bed. Bottom line: if you're waking choking on mucus, exhausted despite hours in bed, if your partner mentions breathing pauses, or cough persists for months, seek professional evaluation. These aren't just annoying, they're warning signs increasing risk of heart attack, stroke, and progressive lung disease. We've covered 8 reasons seniors experience chronic mucus and the science-backed solutions. From allergies and acid reflux to medication side effects, past exposures, chronic bronchitis, dehydration, weakened immunity, and sleep apnea, each has specific, actionable solutions. The message: chronic mucus is never just aging. It's your body signaling something needs attention. Identify which causes apply to you. On blood pressure medication, eat large, late meals, constantly thirsty, ignoring fatigue, implement solutions gradually but consistently. Add HEPA filter, drink extra water, elevate bed, try saline rinses, incorporate immune-supporting foods and herbs. These aren't magic. They're sustainable changes addressing root causes. Don't ignore persistent symptoms. If natural approaches don't help within weeks, seek professional evaluation. Your lungs, airways, and life have fight left. Aging may be inevitable, but decline is optional. If this video was helpful, type "yes" in the comments. That motivates us to produce more content like this. Hit the like button. It helps this video reach thousands who need these answers. Share with anyone struggling with chronic cough or mucus. Subscribe if you haven't. Click the bell for notifications when we release content for seniors refusing to accept decline as normal. Thank you for watching, for being part of this community, and for taking your health seriously. You deserve to breathe freely, sleep peacefully, and live confidently. Here's to your health, strength, and future.